Hello Weathering fans, and welcome to our 12th Race for Terra Community Spotlight. In today's video, you will have the chance to see 3 amazing and really unique projects: a Vietnam War gun truck, a squad of World Eaters commanders, and a KV-1E Soviet tank. Would you like to know more? This King Cobra gun truck is Rick's 6th appearance already in our Community Spotlight, and the 3rd military scale model that he submits. It may not be immediately apparent from the picture, but this thing is absolutely huge. This 1/35th scale model includes the APC hull that went in the back, with a fully detailed interior for it. In fact, it's not only huge, but it has 591 parts and a 24-page instructions booklet. So if you know Forge World models, then you will understand if I tell you that this is truly like the Warlord Titan of scale models. What is undoubtedly apparent from the pictures, however, is Rick's attention to detail in every regard. Check out the beautifully rendered APC interior or the instrument panels. This was a 4-month labor of love for him, but he explains in a quote that not once did I resent it or hate it. At the same time, Rick confesses that he's not even remotely interested in Vietnam nor the notion of a gun truck. So how come that he invested 4 months in this and produced such amazing results if he wasn't really interested in the subject matter? The answer lies in the reason for this build. Rick made this as a gift for his stepdad, who used to be a modeler himself and is in love both with this historical period, the Vietnam War, and with vehicles as unique as this King Cobra. And what a mighty gift this is. I'm sure that his stepdad absolutely loves it. For my part, I would like to say that I contributed a little bit by helping Rick procure a very nice plexiglass case for the truck in its base. In terms of what I like best in the project, I think it's gotta be the multi-layered chipping on the truck itself. Really beautiful. Much as I would like to provide a suggestion as well, to be honest, I don't really feel qualified in this case. This model is truly breathtaking and well beyond my own ken as a modeler. The only thing I would say is this: Rick, you really need a light box, and a big one at that. A very prolific hobbyist, this is Stefan's 5th Community Spotlight entry. After several forays into the world of scale models, Stefan is now coming back to Horus Heresy models with a renewed emphasis on weathering and realism. Fear not, for I have plenty of pictures of these 3 World Eaters commanders for you to feast your eyes on. Like several others in our Discord community, Stefan is far from a one-army player, and also far from being a one-trick pony. These gritty, grubby, and bloody World Eaters are a complete departure from the Alpha Legion Marines that he was doing last year. Much as I like the sounds of Alfarius, I think all of you know where my aesthetic preference lies. Now, I've often said that for Space Marines to be really believable, they should be weathered like vehicles. After all, they are essentially walking tanks, right? The grimy, heavily chipped off-whites and the beaten bronze here convey precisely that idea. I can almost hear the grinding servos in their armor. It is rare for me to wax poetic and go for hyperbole, but these guys really are some of the best World Eaters that I've ever seen. Or put another way, they are exactly how I see the Sons of Angron in my mind's eye. Things like the poses, the conversions, or the basing are all excellent, but they're just the icing on the cake. What I can't help but keep looking at is the chipping in the white panels, which is just amazing. Stefan has also improved his blood splatter effects, which are now more convincing. The only possible suggestion I could give would be to add some more blood to the bases themselves, and maybe some engine oil effects here and there. Now, you may argue that there are other styles of painting Heresy models, and that they are all equally valid. Okay, I'm willing to accept that as a theoretical premise, let's say. However, for the school of modeling that I'm really partial to, I believe that these 3 World Eaters right here represent a true benchmark for others to follow or measure against. Perhaps one of you would like to enter the fighting pits against them with one of your Astartes? Jan's KV-1E is a 1/48th scale kit from Hobby Boss, which in this particular case he built right out of the box, which is quite rare for him. For example, for his latest project, which is a T-55 tank, Jan has added a plethora of additional components, both aftermarket, 3D printed and scratch built. Here, however, what Jan really focused on was the shell impacts in the tank. And with good reason, because there is 156 of them. Yes, you heard correctly. 156 impacts, every one of which Jan painstakingly sculpted by hand. Those of you who like World War II history may recognize this tank. This is the KV-1E of famous Soviet tank commander Kolobanov, who became famous in August 1941 after reportedly leading his unit of 5 KV-1s to destroy a total of 43 German tanks. After the battle, Kolobanov's crew counted the number of impacts which their tank had withstood, and you guessed correctly, they were 156. In terms of what he enjoyed the most, Jan explains that it was the build itself on the one hand, and airbrushing and enamel wash on the other. The latter he used as a form of post shading, that is to say, to increase contrast in corners and other recessed areas. Jan also tells us that creating the diorama base for this tank was an enjoyable challenge for him. He hadn't made a diorama in a long time, and his painting skills had developed so much in the interim that this became all kind of new to him. Well, Jan, I'm trying to give everyone feedback now, so let me offer you some. I really like the color modulation, good call in the wash by the way, and the diorama base looks really awesome. The combination of grass, mud and dirt on it, and the tonal variety is really great. However, my favorite element by far in this project just has to be the shell impacts. But how about you teach the rest of us in the Discord how to do that? I have no idea. In terms of suggestions, I don't have many, except that I did notice some frosting on the model. Probably from your finish varnish, I assume? Having suffered from that myself several times, I know how annoying it can be. Have you tried XF86 with lacquer thinner? It's the only combination that has never failed me so far. I must say your project has really inspired me, Jan. I've never been a fan of Soviet tanks, and much less of this rather peculiar KV-1, but you have convinced me to give one a try at some point. Oh, and I'm looking forward to your next diorama. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed tonight's spotlight. Like I said at the start, this is the 12th one since I started the channel. A true collective accomplishment if you ask me. As always, I would like to thank all of my Patreon followers whose support helps me keep improving my video gear and getting new products to test. If you would like to join a vibrant community of fellow weather enthusiasts and get involved in the content that I make, have a look at my Patreon page. Thank you all, and remember, keep it up and weather it out.